Okay, so the plan is to watch through all this. That way I can edit it down and make a YouTube video. Basically that. We're gonna go watch through it, and I'm going to kind of be listening in to what the commentators say, because there's two commentators from Dengeki, and if they say anything interesting, obviously I'll point that out, translate it. Other than that, we're gonna look at screenshots, analyze it, just go over all the new info. This apparently has the latest trailer, and it also has the latest gameplay trailer that shows like actual gameplay and stuff like that. So we'll get to look at all that. And like Umbrella said, hopefully they do something different. You make the joke about removing all gameplay, but it'd be pretty hard to remove gameplay that didn't exist in the first place. There we go. Also, apparently this is the official title. So that one like full red one they had before, that was not the official one. This is the official colors with the sort of the bluish black here going into the red and orange and whatnot. Yeah, blue into red. Makes you wonder, huh? They are cautioning that there might be some spoilers from the first Kuro no Kiseki. I actually don't remember there being any spoilers from the first Kuro no Kiseki when I watched through this ahead of time. Maybe I missed something. Oh, we're gonna get the base information about the game, they say. Okay, yeah. So everything we know here releases in the fall of this year. They even joke about this here, about if you're a fan of the series, you can pretty much guess when they mean by this. It's probably going to be about the end of September. Price is probably going to be the usual 8,000 to 9,000 yen. They call it a story RPG. I wonder if that means that they added actual video game elements to Kuro no Kiseki this time. Because last time it was a story game, but I didn't really see the RPG factor in it all that much. So hopefully it actually is a story RPG. And it looks like this time they are officially releasing it on PlayStation 5, so there'll be an official PlayStation 5 version in addition to the PlayStation 4 version. Apparently the music playing in the background of this is a new track from the game. I'm gonna get the PS5 version? Probably. I don't think there's not really a reason not to, right? Now I finally have a PlayStation 5. Oh, they're gonna show the teaser movie next. And they show it again, so we'll commentate on it again after they show it the second time. Eiyuu Densetsu, The Legend of Heroes. Kiseki series. Latest product. I don't think that needs to be translated. Enjoy this voice acting. It's about the most you're going to get in the entire game, most likely. If the first game is any indicator. Cool. Very short little trailer there. We see the Hercules members coming in and going after the red Grindel, and obviously the little hollow core that looks very much like Maya, but obviously slightly different. What I think they shouldn't have done is, I'm pretty sure at some point they announced that this is not Vaughn, because they showed like a teaser of Vaughn and them going after this Grindel. I don't think they should have shown that teaser image of Vaughn and Elaine going after the red Grindel. You know that this isn't Vaughn. I think they should have kept that hidden, so you might be like, is that Vaughn? Did something happen to Maya? But now you know it's not them. I don't know, I think that would have been a better form of drip marketing. What's funny here too is the two commentators here, they actually joke about the Hercules units bust in there and be like, are they really going to be useful at all? They're like never useful. And they actually, they badmouth Cody as well. Yep, so now they're showing the hollow core. They're saying it's probably a similar functionality of like what Maya is to Vaughn. Wouldn't it be funny if this was also C? Yeah, the third C. If past games are anything to go off of, we should have already been introduced to who C is this time around. It'll be interesting to see who they actually are this time. Oh yeah, now they're going on to talk about the end of the trailer, where how it probably showed in the beginning of the game, you know, in Kuro no Kiseki 1, it was Anies who, you know, shows up at Vaughn's office, and that's how the game starts. And here for Kuro no Kiseki 2, it's looking like it's going to be Elaine who shows up, and that's how the game starts. Straight downgrade already? Yeah, pretty much. So they're gonna go through the teaser movie again, so we'll be able to pause and look at some things here as they go through it this time. Yeah, so here you have the Hercules units rushing in. Not quite sure what they hope to accomplish, since they have proven themselves to be alongside the Bracers, one of the most useless organizations in the Kiseki universe. So you can't really see. The problem is they could have put whoever this is in a different outfit as well. Yes, so my first prediction of who this potentially is, without having any knowledge of obviously other than what we've seen in this game and then the previous games, would be that this is either Gramhart or the Marduk CEO, whose name I also just don't remember. Do you know someone with a hat outside of Rocksmith? But that doesn't look like Rocksmith at all, though, right? Like, it looks like nothing like Rocksmith. He had a really good diet. I mean, I guess, yeah. I guess we do have that one girl from the Cold Steel series who has a very superhuman-like ability to go between being really big and really thin, seemingly at will. So maybe Rocksmith also has that ability, and this is actually him? Maybe he's angry that we made fun of him and called him Rice Smith in Kuro no Kiseki 1 because he was rice farming now? Maybe? Could see it being Gerard. Yeah, I mean, it would fit with the trench coat. Yeah, so the one thing that this one has, you pointed out a second ago, that's different from Vaughn's, is it has that tail right there. If we see that, that tail is not in Vaughn's, at least as far as I remember. His Grendel transformation does not have a tail, so that is certainly very different. It could mean that this is like an evolution of the Grendel form that Vaughn used, and maybe Vaughn's will also get a tail in this game. 100% someone's going to get impaled with that tail. Oh yeah, definitely. So apparently this game takes place a year after the first Kuro no Kiseki, which makes sense because that'll put it right up against the deadline when the non-aggression treaty between, or agreement between Roy and Ouroboros is supposed to be up. Okay, so I think now they're going to move into showing off the characters. Obviously, we know the 3 characters, but we'll see if there's any new information it gives us about them or for this installment of the game. So obviously, starting off with Vaughn here. His outfit is not changing this time. Kind of makes sense. He already had a solidified, well-working outfit for himself for the first game. He didn't really do much else other than his Spriggan work. No real reason to make any changes. So here's a question. Is there anything interesting that's written here that's new? Well, it still talks about how he's obsessed with sweets, the sauna, and cars. Talks about, he still has to reiterate here that he takes on jobs that are not, they're different from what the police or the bracers can do. In more of a gray area, that very gray area that is literally just being a bracer 99.9% of the time. Looking good, Vaughn, the brain arc ride? Yeah, the brain. I question his intelligence after chapter 4 of the first Kuro no Kiseki. I very heavily question his intelligence. The comment over here is talking about how if you're gonna ask me to take on a job for free, you should at least give me some sweets. Taking a little bit of jab at Vaughn's character and how he's basically bribed to do almost everything in the first game with sweets and not actual payment. Oh, they're gonna give us another slide. So they're adding cut-ins to S-crafts. So in the first Kuro no Kiseki, if you remember, there was no cut-ins like we were used to from previous Kiseki titles. You can kind of look in the background here. He's kind of standing back here. This is the cut-in that's going to happen. It's an in-game CG cut-in for whenever a character uses their S-craft. Yes, it did take over 100 hours to go to the cake shop that Anies got the cake from at the very beginning of the first game. This is true. So yeah, it looks like, I guess fans complained that there were no cut-ins from the previous game, so they're adding it this time. I actually think they're going to add in second S-crafts for all the characters, because in the gameplay section, they show him using his S-craft in battle, and it's the exact same S-craft, his Vandalized Raid S-craft, just with the cut-in. So I assume that later in the game he'll get a second one as well, along with everyone else. Cut-ins being cut, pun intended, was weird. It was weird. It felt like something that didn't really need to happen. Of course, they also cut fishing and like literally mini games and gameplay and difficulty, and quite literally they cut almost everything. So. Obviously, we have Elaine here with her new outfit. The explanation that the guys here are going to give for why they think they changed her outfit, or maybe they may have got insider information. The proposed reasoning for her change in outfit is that even though she still is very much working for the Bracer Guild and upholds the Bracer Guild ideals, whatever job it is that she's going to Vaughn for is something that she feels she has to kind of do it on her own and not as a Bracer, but as an individual, which is almost certainly going to end up dealing with the 8th Genesis. So this is kind of like her casual adventure outfit. I think the reasoning behind it is like she has her image of what she's like when she's doing her bracer work. And so this is her like, I'm not working as a bracer right now look, I guess is the implication behind why her outfit is different this time. Don't worry, even though it very clearly says sword maiden, Sodo maiden, they will definitely call her swordy maiden in the localization. So we have a scene here talking about a new type of terror. As she's saying that as a bracer, she cannot look past the new seeds there of terror that are being laid that could threaten civilians. So, new threats, because of course there's a new threat, and it'll probably be connected to Ouroboros in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, this is where they're talking about how the fact that from the scene you can see that she still considers herself a bracer, but she's also distancing herself as a bracer for the job that she went to Vaughn for. Her outfit does give you slightly darker vibes than her old one. More gray. Yeah, it's more gray. So this is an interesting screenshot. Nothing really important here, they just arrived somewhere. But if you look up in the upper right hand corner, they have added a high speed mode to Kuro no Kiseki II. Another feature that for some reason they cut in the first game. Man, I would have loved to have had high speed mode when the game forced me to do chapter 5 4 times in a row for the fucking platinum. Maybe an excuse to add even more cutscenes. God, the game's already like 80% cutscenes. Already, the first game was at least already 80% cutscenes. So we're talking about, you can kind of see the background here. It looks like they're in some sort of underground area. Most likely everything we're seeing here is from the prologue, so I would assume that this is probably somewhere within Edith City, some underground ruins, because, you know, if it's a Kiseki game and there's a main city, there's a massive underground labyrinth of ruins there. That's just how it is in this world. The guys in the background are hypothesizing that this is probably the area where they go to face off against the Red Grendel, which you see in the one of the very first teaser pictures they showed for the game. The dialogue here does show that they still kind of have like a little bit of tension between the two of them still. You want to say it's not an underground part we've seen in the first game. It would be nice to go somewhere new as opposed to the same 2 underground places for the 100th time again. How many times did we go back to that first prologue area, those first 2 prologue areas? Like 10, 12 times, something like that? Like, it felt like every time we went anywhere in Edith that wasn't like a building, it was to one of that same area. Oh, there was that one area, yeah, during the festival that you went under. Yeah. The famous incident where we got to see hashtag 1.0 Kincaid. New Kincaid, not my Kincaid. Please return back to 1.0 Kincaid. He was the best. Obviously, we got Anya's here, her new outfit. Apparently, the reasoning for her outfit change is this is easier to move around in. Translation, we wanted to show off more of her legs, so we redid her outfit. Okay, nothing new from her explanation here. You can tell the pink, though, is out of her outfit. Her other outfit had a little bit of pink in it, and this one kind of removes almost all of that entirely. We need to make sure to compare bust sizes this fall to prove the Risha theory. We do. We'll have to bring up my streams from my first playthrough because we got to get the first 1.0 version of Kuro no Kiseki to make sure that, you know, they weren't nerfed in one of the updates. I actually like her new outfit for this game, to be honest. And her other outfit wasn't bad either. Like the old one, but it just looked like she was wearing winter clothing all year. Yeah, that's true. This one, at least her boots look more like something like more adventurer-esque boots. The coat looks a little bit more rugged. Besides the frilly part, the coat looks a little bit more rugged. So for the most part, I can kind of see where they're going with giving her a new outfit. But you can definitely tell, especially right here, like she had sort of like a white and pink color scheme to her in the first game, and it's very distinctly now white, red, and like black and blue. So they've definitely kind of toning her color scheme to a different direction than the first game. She's basically just one step away from being a bracer. She just needs some brain damage now. Yeah. Well, apparently Fee took a lesson in how to get enough brain damage to become a bracer after her failures in the first Kuro no Kiseki game. So maybe Agnes can get lessons from Fee about how to do that. Red plus blue, just like the game logo. Goodbye, Elaine. Oh my god, I hope Elaine gets screwed over again by invisible walls. One of the things they talk about this scene is the dialogue is Vaughn telling her not to forget about being a student, you know, saying this you can only be a student now. Be sure to treasure that. Don't forget that you are currently a student. Kind of reminding her, you know, Vaughn had some history, didn't get to finish school and whatnot. So he's like, you know, you got to do this. But the thing that they're pointing out about that's interesting is that because this might be the prologue, it's probably indicating that unlike the first Kuro no Kiseki, where the prologue had Vaughn and Agnes together the entire time until chapter 1, this game is probably going to be Elaine and Vaughn for the prologue, and then Agnes will probably join later after that. And yeah, as you pointed out, there is a big tower in the background, and it's funny you mentioned that because the presenters also talk about that tower, saying, when are we going to go to that tower? You know, in addition to the Kiseki series being about underground ruins in every main city, if there's a tower, you usually go to the tower to solve something bad that's happening. And that's a big old tower we didn't go to in the first game. You do meet Elaine, but you don't travel with her. So it's almost like it's reversed. You travel with Elaine in Kuro no Kiseki 2's prologue, but you meet Agnes. Just imagine how many unique food items you could get from vending machines in that tower. Oh god, don't remind me. That fucking trophy. So this is the first screenshot. Yeah, these two, they have like a little bit of glow in their eyes. They both do. Obviously, they're twins. You can tell one is male, one is female from their outfits. And then they mentioned this in the background here when they're talking about this screenshot. But this thing right here looks like an eye that's closed, reminiscent of the DG Cult like logo eye. So they could potentially be related to the DG Cult, or they could potentially be related to Garden. To me, this looks like it's some sort of weapon, but obviously, as far as I remember, I don't think we've ever met these two characters. I believe they're brand new. Yeah, the presenters are also wondering if maybe these two are related to some remnants of the DG Cult, especially since we're in Calvard, which is like the home base for the cult originally anyways. They do point out like this guy has a little blue pouch on him, and she has like a little red pouch, blue and red. Logo is blue and red. Yeah, she does have a weapon, looks like a weapon or like a holder or something strapped to her thigh down there at the bottom. So yeah, she probably has combat experience. So they could be part from Garden, because we do know we haven't dealt with all of Garden, right? We have this interesting scene here. This is obviously Ren. Obviously, it kind of looks like she's not in her school outfit. Like, it's hard to tell because this does look a little green like the RMS outfit, but I can't remember. She's wearing gloves, which is obviously she does not do all the time. So she's here for something. And then you have these two. This looks like the same two from the screenshot just before. Though here it looks like this girl on the right, the girl has more pinkish hair. So maybe it's just the coloring here. But you can tell it's her from the jacket they're wearing, and you see the little strap here going over this guy's side. I mean, it may not be those two, but it definitely looks like the two from the screenshot before. Plus, she has the little pouch strapped to her leg. And then there's this weird hand-looking thing, whatever this is, coming out here. Hopefully, this means she's playable. I would love to have playable Ren back. Though, given Ren's relationship with Vaughn, that might spell trouble for Agnes and her pursuit of love for him. Yandere Agnes might have to make a return. Agnes's tendencies, yeah. Ren joins the group. Agnes learns the true extent of Vaughn and Ren's relationship, and then Agnes immediately moves Ren to the top of her book. These two, they hypothesize that maybe she's actually doing something for Ouroboros again with her outfit and the way she looks in this picture. But I don't know. I think she's fully done with Ouroboros. And Swin is back. The one thing that makes me happy about Swin being back in Kuro no Kiseki 2 is that means that we might get more Lapis and we might get Nadia. Swin, I don't really give a shit about, but Lapis and Nadia, we need those two back. Remember when Falcom said Swin and Nadia were done? Yeah, obviously that wasn't gonna happen. Earlier you were thinking Swin could be C, but then discarded it because of what they said. Yeah, who knows though. There it is, the Imperial Picnic Corps. Yeah, so they make a joke about what happened to the Imperial Picnic Corps if Swin's here. Is it now the Republic Picnic Corps? Really, all I care about is if Swin is back, that means we might get more Nadia. Nadia was definitely the better half of those two characters. And honestly, it would make sense for these two to come back, right? We're in Calvard. We already dealt with some of the higher-ups of Garden, and in addition to that, like we'll probably end up dealing with more from Garden as well. So it makes sense for those two to show up if we're going to be dealing more with Garden again. You think he looks a lot better now, more mature? He does look better now than he did. I don't know though, this little thing he has on his arm, this little scarf, kind of makes me think he may have been spending a bit too much time with Lloyd for some reason. I don't know, this just screams Lloyd to me, and that's kind of worrisome. You didn't want to say it. Okay, so we have Sedis here. Obviously, this means that not only she's going to be in the game again, we can tell from the chain count here that she's going to be in battle. Now, the interesting thing is, do we fight her or does she join us in battle? Now, it does have the skip thing. Well, it does have the skip thing down here in the lower right-hand corner, though the dude just popped himself in. So this is almost certainly an S-craft right here that she's doing. What they talk about here in the screenshot is, and I don't remember this as well. Are you able to skip enemy S-crafts? Because they were talking about how, like, we know that the skip function shows up for friendly S-crafts, but what about enemy S-crafts? I actually don't remember that. So this could be an indication, like if you can't skip enemy S-crafts, it could be an indication that she is a playable party member, which would be interesting. Skip was patched in, but when I did my second playthrough of Kuro no Kiseki, it was after we had that patch. And I remember the option popping up for like Vaughn's S-craft and whatnot whenever I would use his, because his is the one I would use the most. But I don't remember if it ever came up for enemy S-crafts because the game was so easy, most enemies didn't get a chance to even use their S-craft because they just died before they had a option to. But at the very least, she's in the game, and you're either going to use her in battle or you're going to fight her in battle because the chain count is here. So this is showing off a new area that we're probably going to be going to. There's not a whole lot we can gather from this screenshot. Obviously, Anius is with us. It kind of look like palm trees, but we're up in the mountains. So it's like a tropical mountain area. So it's probably not over by Basel. It's probably more on the southeastern side of Calvard, I want to say. Because there is that massive set of mountain ranges on the east of Calvard that separates like Calvard from like the far east of Zemuria. And if you go farther south, right, that's when you get to the ocean. So I would assume this is probably around that area. Not a whole lot more we can really garner from this picture. You checked my VOD, no skip for enemy S-craft in Kuro 1, at least. So assuming that they don't add a skip feature for enemy S-crafts in Kuro 2, then that means that Celis is either a playable character or she is a guest party member. So now we got another interesting area here. It's probably a brand new area. Obviously, have a little tower in the background. So they surmise that maybe this is Meseldom, the head of like Armada's headquarters, because we never went to that town in the first game. But it's obviously not Edith. But other than that, there's not a whole lot to really see about this picture. We can't really get any information about where this might be. Other than that, it looks like it's probably like an older city. You can kind of see things look a little bit run down, a little bit rusty here. The architecture seems a little bit older than some of the cities we went to. It does seem closer to something you would expect from a city that's been around for hundreds of years. After how many times that place was mentioned, we almost have to go there. Yeah. So we get a battle scene here. This is from an action battle scene. So if we see over here, we can deploy the shard, attack, dodge as usual, and then it has a hold right here. So this looks like the arts. Apparently they added arts to the action battle system. Why that was never a thing in the first game, I have no idea. Looks like we have a new search function here. You press R3, it searches. So that's interesting. But we can see that the arts is dealing damage. You can deal weakness damage to enemies with arts when you're in action battle now. They're talking about how the way arts is going to work for this game for action battles is that you might be able to like set an art that the character can use, and then by probably right here it says a hold triangle, you would like hold triangle and then it would cast that art. We'll see later that there's a cooldown. So once you use an art, you can't just like spam them back to back. This thing will show like a cooldown before you can use an art again. You can see right now it's kind of grayed out, and that's because the art just went off, so it just went on cooldown. You're 99% sure this is the place where the nuke went off because of the same enemy types and same minimap. I mean, it would make sense to go back there, right? Especially since they did confirm, despite the nuke going off, it didn't produce any sort of nuclear fallout. So it would make sense to go back there. Obviously, fishing is added. Why this was removed from the first game, I don't know, but like they removed almost everything from the first game that wasn't like dialogue, so fishing's back. UI is obviously very different from all the previous fishing that's happened in Kiseki games, so new UI for fishing. This is Edith, right? Yeah, because this is Edith, because this is the area where the hot dog stand is, or the taco stand that we go to all the time. And the car shop is over here. Yeah, it looks like you have different sizes. As usual, you can get drop items and sepith from catching fish. I'm sure there'll be an exchange where we can get unique quartz and stuff. It'll probably be an in-game achievement again, where you can get like unique quartz and whatnot. Already one more mini game than the first Kuro. I mean, yeah, one mini game is one more than the first game. That is true. Okay, so we're gonna get like actual gameplay footage here. We'll have to pay attention to this umbrella because I believe this is in the same area where that screenshot was from, where it showed Elaine casting the spell. So here they're doing the search thing right there. You can see that little thing popping out. Attacking. So we can see that it has, it's kind of hard to tell, but you can see that they have the break gauge is above the enemies again. Of course, we have the charge attack gauge for our main character is still here. It has this quick. Okay, so the quick is, this is their spell. You can see it cast. When she used it here, it like cast up around here. So this is like this little like blue bar right here. This is the cast bar for whatever she's using. And then it looks like it went on cooldown over here. Yep, and see, now it's, you see this is going around right here. So there's the cooldown. The cooldown goes around on this side. Got the stun. Oh god, did you see what I saw? Oh no. Did they not learn their lesson? Oh no. Oh, please tell me I saw that wrong. I gotta wait till they deploy the shard. We got the stun. No. No! No! The game's gonna be too fucking easy again. Oh my god, no. God, why? Why, Falcom? Why did you not realize that this is a mistake? The game's gonna be a complete and utter joke again. Yeah, nightmare first playthrough. So if you're planning to get Kuro no Kiseki 2, or if you get Kuro no Kiseki 1, play the game on Nightmare from the first playthrough. Nightmare mode in Kuro no Kiseki 1 is basically easy mode from every other Kiseki series game. It is a complete and utter joke, and this is a large reason why, and it looks like it's back. But we can still analyze some stuff here for this. So looks like all of this is the same. You have your craft menu, your arts menu, regular attack. You can swap between them. Change targets, get extra information here. It looks like the S boost gauge is the same. If I move my camera a little bit, whoop, there we go. We can see that it still has your shard skills. So shard skills are back. That's a thing again. Obviously, we know about the chain bonus, S break. So we still do the S crafts. I assume the S break is still going to need S boost, just like it did in the first game. You'll probably still need 2 of those. And then what else? Still shows the weakness values here. This is what I like right here. So before in the first game, it had it like coming from the left and the right side, like friendlies were coming from the left, enemies were coming from the right. Now it looks like they're both coming from the right, and it shows the delay when a character's going to use something. So this is much improved. Also, if you can tell, the character party frames up here on the left are like 10 times bigger. So you can actually read and understand what your party members' HP values are and how much CP they have and their buffs. Good luck trying to figure out the turn order in the first game. Yeah, it's basically impossible. Have they said how long after Kuro 1 does Kuro 2 start? It is a year after Kuro 1. So it's like right there at the point where the non-aggression or the non-aggression treaty between Roy and Ouroboros would be ending. Oh wait, what was that? Hold on. Something just popped up there. Whoa, hold on. Yeah, I saw something there. So we have the delay. I see exceed chain. So, okay, so she links with Anius here. And it has exceed chain, links with Anius. Doesn't attack. And they do an EX chain. No, it's not exceed chain, it's X chain. So they have like special chain attacks now. Oh, here's where we see is, okay, there's the cut-in for S-Crafts, and we can confirm there that it does use 2 boost gauges because they had 2 before and this goes down. So S-Crafts still require CP and boost gauge. There she cast her spell, goes on cooldown again. It looks like the overall speed and movement of characters in action phase seems to be a lot quicker and a lot smoother because they're not in the turbo mode right now. This is the normal speed of gameplay. So this definitely looks a lot faster and a lot smoother than the first game. Oh, and there's high speed mode, showing that this is now a thing. Looks like something akin from Crossbow Arc. A little bit, yeah. Dodge distance seemed much longer too. It did. I think they're going to show it again here. Yeah, so they're doing a little search function. Oh, we can see down here. It looks like in-game achievements are still a thing. Looks like they're back because you can see the little check mark down here for when showing that you've completed an in-game achievement. Looks like your arts gauge flashes when you can use an art. Overall, it does look smoother. So far, the things I'm looking at from this that I like the most is the improved ATB bar at the top and the bigger, more easily viewable like party frames. Oh, it is those pillars. Oh shit! So this actually is. This just confirms it right there. That thing in the background. Good catch there. Yeah, so this confirms it. This is right outside Kureu. So yeah, it looks like you do actually go back to investigate where the nuclear weapon went off. Since I said it shouldn't have an impact. Well, they said that they said in the first game, they were talking about it, that they didn't detect any fallout from the nuclear explosion. And maybe that was because the original nuclear explosion wasn't complete, because Gerard had to use like an artifact in order to trigger the explosion instead of being able to use the completed bomb. And maybe that's why it didn't produce a fallout. But either way, it makes sense that we would go back there. I guess too, if they're showing us this scene right here, where we're in that area, I wonder if Chapter 1 is going back to Kureu village. So the first game's prologue was Vaughn and Anius, and then for Chapter 1, you go to Kureu and you get your second party member. I guess technically third party member, right? And then for Kuro 2, maybe it's the prologue is Vaughn and Elaine, and then you get your third party member to go back to Kureu for Chapter 1. Well, that's it for all the new information that we've gotten from Kuro no Kiseki 2. So lots to think about, lots of interesting things to look forward to, and some interesting changes. But hopefully we'll get some more information soon and can look more at that. We'll probably do another one of these too once another live stream by Dengeki comes out and we get another big like info drop. I'm sure they'll do like 2 or 3 more of those. So we'll probably do another one of those when that comes up. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. So thank you guys for watching.